Welcome to the Interior Analysis 2022 Awards. We are recording this on the night before the Oscars, so we don't know what won. But by the time you guys hear this, you will. As always, I'm Evan Westman.
Oh, I'm Jelani Kelly.
I'm David Jones.
So we have just about a dozen or so categories that we've decided to give out awards for, and it's just you're going to hear each of us say our pick for it. We might, discuss a little bit after, but it's just this is not consensus. This is our individual picks. And if you don't like ours, well, too bad, but also you can send in your picks to us just by if you're not listening to this on YouTube, go find this on YouTube and leave a comment with your picks, and we can read them off at a later episode. So the categories, we're going to go in this order. We'll go music, best special/visual effects, best actress, best actor, best line, best scene, worst movie of the year, glad you skipped, which is like a riff on the worst you didn't see. That's basically the same category as that from when we did the decade recap a couple of years back. Biggest disappointment, biggest surprise, and that's biggest pleasant surprise. Most underrated, most overrated, and favorite will be the last one. So we'll start with best music. David, let's go with you first.
So, this is probably the first and last time I'll keep the straight audience here, and it's the Batman. I picked that. I think Michael Giacchino did a good job with the score. I don't usually feel the music so deeply in films. I'm not usually one who is like, yes, this music is make or breaking this moment for me. And that was one movie where, for as long as it was, I never got bored of the score, and I felt like I enjoyed the vibe and the atmosphere it was building for the time I was in it. And I kind of just thought about other movies that came out this year that I saw, and I couldn't think of another movie whose score I was that conscious of while I was watching it. I was really, when I was in the theater watching this, I was I really like the way this sounds. So I picked the Batman.
I also picked the Batman. And I think that this might be one of the few categories where any of us are in agreement. So, seconded. I almost said Everything Everywhere, but I was like, nah, the horns in the Batman score are they're a little too iconic to not do. It's kind of too good to not pick. Jelani, are we going to go 3 for 3?
Evan, I'm thinking we're gonna go 3 for 3 because I picked the Batman as well.
Oh
Wow.
boy, oh boy.
I will be shocked if there is another category that we go 3 for 3 on. I had a feel this was the only one I thought there was any chance.
I looked at the list of movies I had seen that released last year, and I couldn't think of any other songs. It also helps that I heard it recently, but I couldn't think of any other songs in made for those movies that were in those movies that are just, I think, for that same reason David said about not, you said this, you said you couldn't think of any other movie this year, or sorry,
right,
last year.
I was not into it.
Yeah. So ditto times 3. Theme went hard. Other than the Wakanda Forever Trailer music that's in my favorites playlist, I didn't count it though because it's not in the movie, so I don't think it counts. So yeah, I gave this music to the Batman as well, and that'll be the end of the 3 for 3. So
yeah, like I said, I will be shocked if there's another.
I think I saw one movie total that's actually up for Oscars.
It's Everything Everywhere.
Oh no, I saw Batman too. Okay.
What's the Batman up for? I just
Sound and.
Oh yeah.
But not cinematography.
Nope. Elvis is up for. What was Brian Tyree Henry?
Elvis is up for it, but not Batman.
What was Brian Tyree Henry in Causeway? What is that?
Oh, I think that's the Jennifer Lawrence movie, isn't it?
Yeah,
Or is
I think
that am
that's
I
her on
completely
there.
whiffing on that?
Best supporting. Is it for Wakanda Forever? Angela Bassett. Oh, I saw Glass Onion. That's on the thing too.
You're doing good.
Yeah, I saw a couple of Oscar films. All right, sorry. Let's keep going.
Yeah. Well, Jelani, let's stick with you for best special slash visual effects.
I considered giving it to the Batman or Wakanda Forever. I don't really know exactly what best special visual effects mean. Is that just CGI or is it just effects in general? Like practical effects, is that included in that?
Yeah, I kind of tried to like design the name of it so that it could kind of because visual effects I think implies that it wasn't there practically. So I kind of with this was like we can keep both of them in
Hmm.
play. It's probably not fair to lump them together, but
But we're doing it anyway.
Yeah, I don't think I'm the best
yeah.
judge of CGI, even though I went to school for animation for a little bit and finished in a different degree. I gave it to Bullet Train. Out of any of the movies I thought of, I didn't ever really think of any points where I was just like, well, that looks awful. Really, I could have given it to anything, but I just like that movie as a whole. So I'm also lumping action into it as well, and yeah, I'm Bullet Train.
Okay. I haven't seen it yet, so I mean I know we're doing it soon, but I have yet to see it, so I can't
Oh, you'll
agree or
see it.
disagree.
You'll see it all right.
David, what's your pick?
My pick goes to Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. I'm a sucker for practical effects, and I really liked how this movie blends practical with CGI. I think it's awesome that everybody who worked on this film in the CGI department and the post department were not film school and we're all self-taught from YouTube tutorials and just rogue filmmakers. I think they did a great job. I everything that they kind of pulled on me, all of the stunts worked. I never thought it looked bad. I was never confused. I bought it the whole time. And I think we're going to start to see a lot more like, especially if it wins tomorrow, I think we're going to see a lot more of like the fracturing spectacles in sci-fi.
Yeah, I considered it lightly for that because it is impressive on the budget they had. I am almost positive that Avatar is going to win the Oscar for visual effects tomorrow, but that's not to diminish everything everywhere.
Is it because they use Fiji water for the ocean?
I guess I watched like a breakdown of those effects. Apparently, like the stuff with water is like incredibly impressive for some reason, which did not hit for me at all when I saw it.
I heard fluids are hard to do in animation with Blender.
Yeah, especially with like making it look heavy, like the way they apparently. I watched the breakdown too, but it didn't hit for me. I thought, okay, they're underwater, and maybe that's how it's supposed to hit. Maybe that's why it's effective. I don't know.
The trailer
But
made me
like they were
thirsty.
like, ooh, the arm moving, and you can see like the air bubbles with the arm moving. I'm like, okay, I'm not looking there.
Yeah, like I don't deny like the craft that went into it, but it didn't really enhance my experience at all, which is why I am giving this award to Top Gun Maverick
Mm,
because the visual and practical and special effects, all of the above, and that really did make the experience better for me with that movie. Like
so good.
it has some stuff going for it story wise, but mostly it's like Tom Cruise doing his Tom Cruise thing of like we're flying these planes and you're going to see us actually fly these planes and do some insane stuff. So, that's a pretty clear winner in my mind. Again, not to diminish the work of the people who worked on Avatar despite my other feelings on it. Like you guys did a good job there. Not that you care what I think, but like I said, I would be shocked if anyone else takes home the Oscar for that tomorrow. But it's just like, yeah, when you see it, yeah, there's blue people and there's humans together, and that's impressive technically. But I don't care. It doesn't like make me enjoy it more. So it's all just kind of gravy, I guess. Is that the right term?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let's move to Best Actress.
I went with Angela Bassett in Wakanda Forever. I think she brought it. And every
Did she do
time,
the thing?
what,
Did she do the thing?
what thing?
Oh, no, you don't get that. That's like a big meme right now on the internet because of Ariana DeBois. She performed at the BAFTA and she did like an honorary rap for all of the women nominated there. And her line for Angela Bassett was Angela Bassett did the thing, but like she's really out of breath and like her dancing's really awkward at the moment because she's really tired from like the 9 minute performance and it's just getting memed terribly. So
Oh
everyone's like,
boy.
"Yay, Angela! She's doing the thing." And when Angela won, she was like, "I guess I did the thing."
What the hell? I mean, she did the thing to win this award for me, I guess. Every time I listen to the trailer music and hear her voice, I get chills.
Hmm.
She was so strong in the movie. I honestly was not expecting her to get clapped in it, so that sucks. But while she was on screen, damn, was it heavy. Her, is it Letitia? Letitia? Letitia Wright?
Yeah, I've heard Letitia Wright.
Her and shout out to Denai Gurira. Is that how you say it? Those three.
The one who plays a Korean,
Yes,
right?
those
Oh,
three
she's so
That's
good.
in that movie, they just brought it. Honestly, it could go to any one of them, but I gave it to Angela. Like they definitely, like you feel the outside. For me, I felt the outside connection to Chadwick's death in their performance. And damn, did that it made it hit that much harder. So yeah, I gave Best Actress to Angela Bassett. Specifically, I wanted to. It's not in my best scene, but specifically, I wanted to mention the scene between. It was that scene with the one line in the trailer where I think Okoye she's stripped of her general title
Yeah.
and they're going back and forth and each has their side to this argument and there's just tears and the drama is heavy and they act their asses off. Like props to them. But yeah, that's my choice.
So it was this one was a tough one for me because I share all the same sentiments Jelani said about Angela Bassett's performance. Her line delivery in that scene is impeccable. When she's talking about the traitor husband, the choice to stand, everything, the quivering, and then oh my god. And then I also she got snubbed for Oscar, but at least the SAG acknowledged her. Danielle Deadweiler as Mamie Till and Till was like incredible, and she's just like bulldozes that whole movie. But I eventually just settled on a very mainstream popular pick, which is Michelle Yeoh, because like all of the emotions her character feels and all of the nuances that like I see in her face as like this is like my fifth rewatch of that film. I'm just still blown away, and I usually am drawn to more dramatic, bigger, grandiose performances. So it was I'm trying to like acknowledge something that's a little bit more subtle and kind of like allow that into my wheelhouse and enjoy that. So like Michelle Yeoh is someone, especially with this performance, where I felt that was really successful, especially in a movie that's so absurd.
I cannot argue with either of those, but my pick is I'm gonna say this wrong probably. Stephanie Shu
Mm-hmm.
from Everything Everywhere. I think is she nominated for supporting?
She
I think
is.
she is. Yeah, like in terms of which performance probably should take home the Oscar, or like I hope does. I kind of hope Michelle Yeoh gets it over her, but I found myself personally more impressed by her performance than anyone else this year. It's one of the best villain performances I think I've ever seen, especially since it's obviously not just a villain performance. But like as soon as we get like the full Jobu Tapaki introduction, I was like, holy shit, I am down for the rest of this movie. And it's largely thanks to her performance.
Yeah, she's incredible. Have you seen the audition tape she does? Because it's literally like this is the character. Like she has it from that moment. Like I don't think the Daniels had to do any work with her with getting there. Like she showed up and just was that character, which is really hard to beat because that character is everything all the time.
Yeah, with both of them, both Michelle Yeoh and Stephanie Hsu, I think what's impressive with both of them is how many different things they are in the one performance. I feel like it's not a very like the two performances that I think are going to be that to me hit as like the big Oscar performances are Angela Bassett for Wakanda Forever, and then I haven't seen Tar, but from what I've heard about it, I think Cate Blanchett in Tar is like the most Oscar baity performance of the year. So I'm kind of expecting those two to be the winners. Although I haven't seen all of the nominees for those. But I'm hoping for Michelle Yeoh. And it turns out Stephanie Hsu is also up for supporting. So they could both win. But all three of our picks, as it turns out, are nominated tomorrow. So we'll see if the Academy agrees with us. Are we ready to move on to actor?
Yeah.
Let me do mine first because I got the shortest explanation. Best actor, I picked Brian Tyree Henry for Bullet Train, and simply because I want him to win an award. That's it.
He's awesome. So
probably my.
Again, I haven't seen Bullet Train, so I can't speak to his performance there. But I've liked him in the other stuff that I've seen.
Atlanta.
Spider-Verse.
He was.
They don't give out awards really for voice acting, but he might have the best
which
voice
sucks
performance.
because they totally should be
movie.
recognized.
Yes, they should. He's probably in my. I'm not gonna say probably. He's in my top 3 like current favorite actors in general right now. Anyway, yep. Thanks for listening to my TED Talk. Your turn.
Okay, I can go next because mine is also a pretty short explanation. I'm not going to argue this is the best performance of the year, but I love Ed Norton, and I loved him in Glass Onion. It was just a lot of fun to see him doing his Ed Norton thing. Does he deserve to win actual awards for that? Probably not, but I just had a lot of fun watching him do his Ed Norton things, talk about the infraction point and all of that. Yeah, in terms of like who I would actually want to win tomorrow, I want to see Barry Keoghan possibly win. I really liked him in Banshees of Inisherin. I haven't seen all of those performances that he's up against, but he was the runner-up in this category for me. David, who's yours?
For me, I'm sticking with Everything Everywhere, and it's going to Ke Huy Quan. The Goonies was such a foundational movie for me. It's one of the movies I remember the day I went to Blockbuster to get it. I remember the other movies I got with it. I remember the food I got after. I remember eating it while watching the movie. And my favorite character in that movie was Data, which was played by like little kid Ke Huy Quan. And then he disappeared forever. And then he came back, did an amazing performance in this standout movie, and has just been on an absolute killing streak, winning at every award show. And I hope it continues tomorrow because I will literally be in tears if I see Data walk up in front of Steven Spielberg and collect his Oscar. I'll die.
I would love to see him win as well. I also rewatched Temple of Doom recently, and he is definitely the best part of that movie.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, that is the third best indie movie, but he is easily the best part of it. We got to talk about Goonies at some point because that was a favorite of mine at one time.
I think I saw like the last 10 minutes of it. That's it. I've never seen it.
Yeah, I have a feeling without nostalgia, it is not going to hold up for you. Because even with it, I don't know that it does for me.
It's so 80s.
I'm not 80.
Like, well, that's one of the movies when I watch it, I just think this is so 80s.
I'm not 80, so I don't know if it's going to appeal to me.
All right, let's move to Best Line. I'll start with this one. This is my other Glass Onion winner. It's a dangerous thing to mistake speaking without thought for speaking the truth. That's just
Who says that?
Benoit Blanc to Kate Hudson. There's like 8 lines in that movie that could have been Best Line. Like there's some excellent ones in there, but that I thought was the hardest hitting.
Like buttress
those feelings. Can we all just really take a second to like abbreviate this moment? It's not a real word. All right, what did you guys have?
I also had Knives Out. I had a line from Knives Out. I thought, the dialogue in that movie's great, and it's the one I mentioned in our episode too. It's Andy when she gives her big dig at them and she says, "You'll lie for a lie, but you won't lie for the truth."
I'm glad you said that because that was my runner-up.
And it's just like that line's just like, I know whenever he wrote that, like his fingers were on fire, like and then he just got up and kissed his wife, and he was like, "Yeah, yeah, boy, Last Jedi can die."
My line was pretty big brains too. It's nope, nope, fuck this shit. O.J. Haywood from Nope.
From Nope, yes.
He had good lines too, though. Like he has that like, "Do you have a word for a bad miracle?" That's a good line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this was the aliens in the barn scene where I think every
Oh yeah.
African American person felt him spiritually in this scene, where he saw the aliens just creeping around and slowly creeping up to him, and he showed why black people normally aren't in horror movies, because he did exactly what any I just want to say sane person would do in this moment, and noped the fuck out of there. So and then he punched an alien shortly after. Yep, that gets my vote for best line.
I think that scene had the biggest reaction in the theater I was in.
It freaked me the hell out. Holy hell, was that build up crazy?
It was really well done.
So good.
Yeah.
I just rewatched Nope a couple nights ago. It's so good.
I need to rewatch it. This is making me want to, because that scene was a big one that got we were all so tense, and we were all dying laughing. Like, he played us so well.
Let me see if I can get my mom to watch it. My dad and brother didn't like it. I was just like, y'all don't get it. This is Jaws, but not.
But for clouds.
Yes.
Could you imagine? I can't go outside anymore, Mom. I can't look up.
Oh wait, no, that was one of, I think one of the first reviews I saw of it was, "This is what Don't Look Up should have been." All right, let's move to best scene.
Scarlet Witch versus the Illuminati and Doctor Strange Multiverse Madness. Unexpected deaths, and I refuse to elaborate further.
Well done.
Well, I don't know if this will come up again, so I will take this opportunity to spread my pet title for that movie, Duoverse of Midness. That is how it should be referred to.
Oh yeah, it's not too many multiverses, huh?
No.
There's two of them, and they go to two multiverses, and it's incredibly mid. So
Yeah.
it's the Duoverse of Midness.
There's like two movies that I watched that didn't get any awards from me because they were kind of in the middle. So it's shocking this got anything from me, but I just rewatched the scene, and nah, it's crazy. I didn't realize till like a third in the movie that this didn't have one of like the Marvel big bad villains, and then I realized, oh, wait, is Scarlet Witch the villain? Because I didn't believe I didn't want her to be, because she was a hero before.
There's a couple that it could have been, but I chose the office opera fight from Everything Everywhere.
God damn it!
What? Come on.
No, go ahead.
That's a great scene. It's a great scene. It's the most beautiful action scene I've ever seen.
Oh, is it? No.
Yes.
Okay.
Not necessarily the best, but most beautiful action scene. With the opera in the background, and like where it hits in the story, and she's like doing the multiverse jumping, and there's some awesome choreography, and the music like cuts out at the parts when she gets hit. I love that scene. Closely followed by the empathy fight at the very end. I almost put that one.
Oh, did you know?
Yes, when she's going up the stairs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why are you upset at that?
Oh no, we'll talk about it.
I feel like I'm giving you the time. You can unpack it.
Yeah, like when else are we gonna talk about it?
No. Trust me, we will come to this.
Okay.
Oh, I think I might know why we might come to it.
I'm excited. So for my best scene,
I have a guess for why we might come to it, but I don't want to say because I don't want to.
I'll give you two guesses.
No, I think we'll get there. I'm excited. So for my best scene, I picked the final scene from Pearl. I don't know if either of you caught this movie this year. It was the very quickly made sequel to X. X was just supposed to be its own standalone homage to 70s slashers, and it is, and it's gorgeous, and I love that movie. And then it did really well, and apparently Mia Goth, who played the main character in X, but also the villain in X, had this idea, the story idea for the villain, and she developed it with Ty West, and they've made the sequel, which is Pearl, who's the villain, and it goes back into when Pearl was young in the 20s. And then it becomes this really cool deep dive into like cinema in the 20s and when like silent film became talkies. And the final scene in Pearl was just everything I could have ever wanted. It starts out and Pearl is just devastated. She's crying because she didn't get her role to be a star. And then by the end of it, the person she's crying to is dead on the floor because in her hysterical outrage, Pearl admits to all the killing she has done throughout the movie. And her best friend slash sister-in-law is like, I gotta go. It's time for me to leave. And then there's this beautiful, just long take, long shot that just goes, this beautiful oneer. And she just goes, she grabs an axe, and about like 90 seconds later, the girl is dead on the floor. And I was just like, this is some of the best horror I've ever seen. And this movie, by no regard, should have been good because it should have just been a throwaway sequel. But it was really well done, and I love the scene. And I can just watch that scene alone and not even the rest of the movie, and I just get chills.
I saw a Reddit post that basically said horror fans have some of the happiest personalities, and I find that very strange, but funny. And the way he just talked about somebody getting murdered by her sister-in-law after going on a rampage is, I think that's a testament to that.
Oh, it's so good.
Is it worth checking out? Or?
Yeah, but I would definitely watch it in release date. So I would go X and then
first?
Pearl. Yeah, just because like by then you understand like who Pearl is and why like those moments are suspenseful because you're watching the birth of the killer. And it's just, that ending
Is
is
it
so
just
good.
the letter X?
Yeah, it's just the letter X.
Yeah, I missed both of those because I'm not a horror person. But I was a little curious when I saw, like, oh, this is the sequel came out, like, what, 6 months later?
Oh! This movie, this is the one with they're making the X-rated film, right?
Yeah, it's in the 70s and it's like the beginning of the porn film industry. But it's
Yeah.
a huge homage to like 70s, what were they called? Grindhouse horror, that's what it was called. So like very Texas, OG Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes, like down like throughout the whole film. And it's so well done.
Yeah, I saw the kill count on this. So Pearl is the old lady, right?
Yes. Mia
Yeah,
Goth, who
got
plays
it.
like the young ingenue who's breaking into the porn world, also plays the old lady.
Plays the yeah. It's so weird. I remember that though. Okay, got it. I didn't know they made the Pearl sequel though.
Yeah. And then that's her. Old Pearl is a young 20-year-old in the 1920s, and they give her like a Judy Garland, Wizard of Oz kind of vibe.
All right, are we done with best scene?
Yes.
Okay, then we'll get into the trio of badness for our next 3 categories. Worst movie of the year. Who wants to start?
I'll start. The worst movie of the year for me was Firestarter, the remake starring Zac Efron. The best thing and the only good thing about this movie is the score by John Carpenter. He turned it out. God bless him. That's all I have.
Okay, I can go next with that. People who have listened to who have been listening to like most of our episodes throughout the year, I know I've mentioned this a couple times. I forget on which ones. I really hated The Gray Man. This had so much potential to be good. It had Chris Evans, Ana de Armas, Jessica Henwick, Bridgerton Dude, and Ryan Gosling, and a dope-ass title, and, like, a cool premise, and this movie sucked ass. It had some of the worst dialogue I've ever seen. The action scenes were incoherent. It cost $200 million, and it looks like crap. You guys had this teed up to be a grand slam, and you fouled out.
That's baseball.
What the hell, guys? Actually, no, it wasn't a foul out. It was a strikeout looking, is what it was.
Still baseball.
Yes. I was just
got
trying to
it.
make sure the metaphor made sense. And they're
I'm
making a
following.
sequel.
Black Adam.
Really?
Movie of the year.
That bad?
So here's the thing.
I didn't see it, but
Here's the thing. It's not the movie itself that did it for me. That made it the worst movie of the year for me.
Oh.
No. Y'all know where I'm going with this.
I might.
It's because the movie now means nothing.
Mhm.
My disappointment for Henry Cavill's return and having it ripped from me outmatches anything horrible that I watched last year. And for that alone, Black Adam is my worst movie of the year. Yep.
I haven't heard much good about it, so I won't be defending it either. I haven't seen
I
it.
really hope Superman Legacy is good, because I really want Superman to win. There's been talks about Henry Cavill also being in the DC, James Gunn's DCU, but as a different role. I don't know what yet, but I saw somebody say it'd be funny to see him as Lex. But yeah, that's... The movie doesn't mean anything now. R.I.P.
Jelani, let's skip with you with Glad You Skipped. This is one that I have a guess for. I'm not going to guess it. I want to hear you say it, but I have a strong guess for what you're going to put with this.
Do you?
Yes.
Morbius.
Oh, okay, I was wrong.
What did
I
you
thought you
think?
were going to say Avatar.
Oh, no, that wasn't even in my mind. I didn't even think about that movie. I couldn't care one way or another. The Morbin memes made me want to see the movie even less. So if the people making fun of the movie were painfully unfunny, there's no way the movie was going to be any good. And that is coming from comedy snob Jelani. I have no interest in seeing this movie. I probably will never have interest in seeing this movie unless I'm paid to do so. So, yep.
But the part where he says it's Morbin time...
He doesn't say it! He
circles
doesn't say it
around
in the
everyone.
movie! He doesn't say it in the movie. People made that up.
I know.
He's never said it once in the movie. He's not a goddamn Power Ranger. Please stop. The memes are unfunny. They have always been unfunny since the beginning of whoever started the shit. Please stop.
Watch along? Question mark.
No, thank you.
No. We might as well toss that up on the list.
Gotta change that G to an E.
Oh, okay, that's clicking
Oh,
for me
I
now.
get it. I just
Watch
got it.
alone.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
which
Yeah,
G
I
to
got
an
it.
E?
It took me a minute. I was like, oh, I don't know where the G is.
Go be a watch alone.
All right, David, what was your Glad You Skipped?
So I went with back and forth with a few of these. The ones movies we've been talking about, The Gray Man and Morbius. I was like, ooh. And then the one that won out for the Glad I Skipped was actually Blonde. I picked this because for all like intensive purposes, like this would be a movie I think I would be into. I like period pieces. I like period pieces about old Hollywood. I like Marilyn Monroe. I like Ana de Armas. But for whatever reason, the trailer didn't sell me and I never got around to watching it. And I haven't heard much good about it. And I know it's leading for like Razzie nominations. So I feel like I
Damn.
dodged a bullet.
But isn't it up for...
She is
Isn't she
nominated.
up for Best Actress?
Yeah, her performances.
The hell?
Yeah, I did see it. I hated it less than most people, which is not to say that I liked it. I think I was mostly just refreshed to see a different take on a biopic than we normally have. But I think that might have blinded me to some of its flaws that other people pointed out, where it's just like 2.5 hours of like Marilyn Monroe suffering. And I was like, yeah, I guess it was. So I'm not going to argue with any of the criticisms. But I would like to see more biopics that take kind of a similar approach to it. So I'll say that. Not in terms of like just
Suffering.
showing terribleness, but like kind of taking more of like the concept of this person than trying to like recreate their actual life.
Am I the only one that reads biopic as biopic the first time I see it?
It depends.
I don't, but I've heard other people say that.
It really depends where it is, like in the paragraph or the article or something. Like if it starts the sentence, I will start it as biopic, and then I like go back, I hit the reverse.
I always say biopic, but I don't stand by that as like correct.
Biopic makes sense. It's just when I read it, for whatever reason, my brain, I hear my own voice say biopic first. Anyway.
I think it works either way. My glad I skipped. I was considering Minions.
What? That came out?
Yeah, well, the second one. We all know how I hate Minions.
Yeah, Rise of Gru.
Yeah, Rise of Gru. But I decided to go with the other terrible movie from this year with Minion in the title, which is Jurassic World Dominion.
Oh, nice.
Because it's more that I hate like the fact that this movie exists at all, because we do not need Jurassic World to exist. We talked about Jurassic Park last year, and I think there could have been good Jurassic Park sequels. These are not those.
65.
Oh yeah, 65.
I gotta see that.
The return, the horror to dinosaurs. Kylo Ren is in the forest with a gun and a girl and fighting CGI monsters 65 million years ago.
It was so funny when I was at the movie theaters watching Scream last night. And before I go in to my theater, I was waiting for my friends to show up, and like a wave of a theater left, and I was like, oh, I wonder what they're talking about. And like one person was like, the climax of that was awesome. And I was like, oh my god, was it Scream? What was it? And then like I hear someone else from that group be like, well, 65 million years between dinosaur and man. I'm like, imagine seeing the movie 65 and that's your takeaway. Like, yeah, I'm glad you spent your money well.
Oh man. Oh, how was Scream? Was it 6?
Yeah, it was 6. It was really good.
Biggest disappointment. Who wants to go?
I'll go. Gray Man. They underused Ana de Armas. That in itself is criminal. Especially, I think I mentioned before how her, I don't know if we were recording or not, but she was like training and stuff on Instagram, and I think she might have shot one bullet the whole movie, and like didn't even kill the guy she shot or something. Also, Jessica Henwick, didn't really use her. Ryan Gosling wasn't even playing an interesting protagonist, and from what I saw of The Nice Guys, I just randomly watched that one night. He can be funny and have a personality. So, like, see him do the shtick he's known for in a movie like this, it could have been better. I might have said before that Chris Evans as Lloyd saved it for me, but I don't think I think the same thing anymore.
He didn't, in my book.
No.
He couldn't have, but he didn't. Like, he didn't even salvage it marginally.
Yeah, he's always a fun villain to watch, in my opinion, because, like, Captain America, just the Captain America role, like, he doesn't have to play any more protagonists in his life. He could just play antagonist from here on out, and it would still be balanced with him playing Captain America as many movies as he did. It's the potential that was there to just not to be delivered in a satisfying way. I'm not mad. It was disappointment. Get it?
I'm mad for you.
Okay, thank you.
I am angry and disappointed about that movie.
This was another category where I had two where I was like so splitting by a hair and the one I didn't pick was Black Adam because of everything Jelani said. I was so ready for the Shazam Black Adam meetup, and then they brought Superman back, and I was like, whoa, this is really gonna turn the party. And then James Gunn said, guess what, I'm making Scooby-Doo 3. But then I was like, and then I thought, okay, it was the same thing with Blonde, kind of with Morbius, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go with Blonde just because you have more, this seems like more of a movie for you. And for me, it was Jurassic World Dominion. That was Jurassic Park means so much to me. It is so much of why I love screenwriting, so much of why I love directing, so much of just why I love filmmaking. And like, I agree with you, there's a world where you can make a good sequel to Jurassic Park, and these are definitely not it. And specifically Dominion is like really, really, really not it. Like if I thought Fallen Kingdom wasn't it, my God, Dominion isn't it even more. Like how you could make a Jurassic Park movie-esque movie, since it's Jurassic World now, and not even make dinosaurs the problem and make it this insect thing and just completely time jump
locust?
over. Yeah, the locust.
Yeah.
And just completely time jump over the whole like dinosaurs coming into being with people, because that was the whole thing we were all waiting to see was, oh my God, like how are dinosaurs and people going to coexist? We've been teasing this since 1993, and then we finally get to that point in the story to see that conflict, and we do like a 3-year time jump, and like we're just cool with dinosaurs now. Like seems like we're living with them fine. We have pterodactyls at the Empire
Like
State Building,
Pokemon.
and we seem to be doing okay. Literally like Pokemon.
Yep.
So I hated that.
Can I ask, were you actually expecting that to be good? Because I did not expect that movie to be good when I first heard about it, even with that premise.
I was expecting to at least enjoy it. Good, I didn't even care. I just wanted, as a fan, as Jurassic Park, as much as I am, getting all 3 back and getting to the point where, like, because my one friend, Jordan, really doesn't like, he really hates Jurassic Park when it becomes about, like, dinosaurs getting into the real world and it becomes, like, Nat Geo. So, like, I didn't really care. Like, I understood, like, okay, that probably won't be the best, but, like, I was like, we're at least getting the trio back, and, like, dinosaurs are in the world, so, like, let me just see some trio dinosaur conflict, which I feel like is the bare minimum when you have Jurassic Park and the original trio back. Like, that's the bare minimum. The bar's on the floor when I just want to see the trio with dinosaurs, and, like, we barely get that. I see them more with CGI locusts eating wheat, and I'm like, what am I watching?
Was the best part of the movie when the guy gets eaten off the e-scooter by the T-Rex?
Evan
Because
won't
that was the
stop
only
talking
part of
about
the trailer
that.
I liked. It,
Yeah.
It's so stupid, though. The guy's like riding his e-scooter through, is it the loop? Like the courtyard of the loop, and he's like, oh, dinosaurs. Oh, shit. Then he gets, what the hell is that? Is it the best part of the movie, David?
No, it's not the best part of the movie. No.
Oh.
I would say the best part of the movie, for me at least, there's a dinosaur, and it's probably made up. It's probably not even a real dinosaur at this point, that, like, is chasing one of the new characters, and, like, the character, is there, like, in Antarctica or something, some icy place, and, like, a character falls from the ice into the frozen water, and they're, like, trying to swim out, and then, like, the dinosaur jumps in the water, and they can swim really fast, and then, like, the character gets out and the dinosaur jumps out, and it's like that whole sequence was really suspenseful, and I liked that the best. But like the moment you're talking about, I personally really didn't like, because that was like around the same time, either right before, right, I think, yeah, it's right before, so it sets off, like, there's like this Fast and the Furious-esque like chase scene through like some European town, and it's like Chris Pratt on his bike, and he's like balancing on like the slimmest piece of like cobblestone, and then like there's like a velociraptor jumping from like the village tops, like getting at him, and I'm like, what am I watching? Like, this isn't Jurassic Park at all.
I just imagine like Scooby-Doo running on the ice scene you just described. Like they're slipping but running in the same spot. And
like the
before they take off
for a couple seconds.
They wind themselves up.
Yep.
I used to think that was how running fast worked, so I would do that when I was playing baseball.
That's hysterical.
And then someone called me out on it, and I was like, oh.
That's fucking hysterical.
I'm glad you don't do that anymore.
Please start doing it again.
I probably only did it a couple of times. I think I was like 4 or 5. And I was like, this is how people run fast in cartoons. Maybe if I wind up.
I don't even blame your parents for not telling you, because if my kid did that, I'd be like, this is a fucking gift. Like, I'm gonna ride
It
this out
probably
for as
was
long
my
as it is.
parents who told me. I think it was my parents who told me.
Because, like, the only way I get that is my dog on, like, the hardwood, like, with his nails. Like, if I throw, like, his ball, like, he'll wind up, and then he'll take off, and I'm like, it just takes me out.
If it was running like Shaggy, bro.
Could you imagine, like, he could have got to the base,
Dude.
but he didn't get to it because he spent too much time running in place? They're like, what the fuck, Evan, you got out.
Okay, but Shaggy was like my idol back then. I freaking loved Shaggy.
Who didn't? Oh my god, he was the best.
He's
Yeah,
the best
Shaggy
character
was
in that show.
Yeah. That's not something I expected to hear today. But here
I didn't
we are.
expect to say that today. I wasn't expecting the running in place to come up.
Oh, my stomach hurts.
That's a fantastic two truths and a lie.
I should do that for once sometime.
Oh, man. That is just specific enough. Oh, holy shit. Okay.
Biggest disappointment for me, Avatar: The Way of Water. Not because I was expecting it to be that good, but I was expecting more than what we got. James Cameron had 13 years to work on this, and this is exactly his vision. If he took this long, pushed it back like 8 times, and spent $350 million on it. We needed more than this. It looks pretty, and there's like maybe 4 cool moments near the end. That's it. I don't need more of these. My curiosity as to what he's been up to has been sated, so you can miss me with when he goes to fire and earth, and then whenever he does with 5.
I was gonna say, what if it's all just a prequel for the real Avatar?
I mean, he got air in the first one and he got water in this one, and 3 is gonna be fire. So he's not shying away from these parallels.
What's crazy is I don't even think I think he just doesn't even know. Like, it's good, like, everyone around him, he's around too many yes men for anyone to tell him no. Like, it's gonna take, like, his, like, nephew. They're gonna be like, Uncle Jimmy, have you seen Avatar: The Last Airbender? These movies are like that. And then he's just gonna be fuming.
Or he'll just start counting his money at them and be like, I'm sorry, have your last 3 movies made a total of $7 billion?
He's talking to his, like, 9-year-old nephew like that.
Right.
I bet he would. I hear he's an asshole.
I'm sure he is.
Moving on to a more pleasant category. Now that we've gotten out of the Triangle of Sadness. Ayo, biggest surprise of the year. Triangle of Sadness is a movie that came out this year that I didn't see.
Oh, okay.
But it was the 3, like, bad categories. Anyway, biggest surprise. What do we have?
I'll go. For me, I had no expectation for this movie. It was a sequel to a movie I had not seen. It was a game adaptation, and those tend to never be good. And I had not heard good things from the first movie in general. And my friends loved the character, so I was like, I'll go and see it with you. And I was very pleasantly surprised. And for me, the biggest surprise of this year was Sonic 2. I really
I thought it was going to be Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, no.
I could only think
When you
of
said,
TV
like,
show
sequel
games.
to a movie I haven't seen.
I really liked it. I don't know if either of you have seen it, but it's actually
No.
a lot better than the first if you saw the first.
I didn't see either.
Same.
I'm not a Sonic head.
Me either.
I mean, I know the characters, but as I don't go out of my way to watch Sonic content.
But no, yeah, usually, honestly, when people are too into Sonic, it's a red flag to me. Because I know there's like a very small skip step to furryhood with that, and I just can't. That's like a bit too much for me. So, but my friends luckily are still, I still, you know, they're still here, so that's good. And I was really surprised. I thought, because the first one they told me was very Alvin and the Chipmunks, and after I saw 2, I went and watched the first one because it was on Amazon Prime, and it is very that, like, CGI animal gets found by a couple who, like, needs a kid for stability, and then here they go.
Jesus. Ew.
Yeah, it's not good. And if I was a Sonic fan, I would be like, what? You just took this character and did nothing with it and just made, like, the most bland 2009 movie ever. But this was not that. Tails and Knuckles were in it, and it was fun, and there was moments from the game, like the big fight at the end of Sonic 2, the actual game. So I was actually really hype watching it, and I was like, this is embarrassing. I should not be having this much fun at a Sonic movie. And I even bought it when it came out, and I watched it again, and I had just as much
Damn.
fun. I was like, this is an actual good movie. And if I was a kid right now, I would have really, really, really liked the Sonic movie.
I could have sworn you were gonna. I was like thinking of all the game,
Yeah, I was like, it's not
TV show.
Uncharted. Like,
No,
all the game
no.
TV show adaptations that came out. I was like, The Last of Us was this year, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and I think was Arcane last year. I think Arcane was February of last year.
that's a TV show anyway, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I could only think of TV show game adaptations. I was like, what game adaptation had a movie? And then you just said Uncharted, and I can't imagine David would pick that.
No.
That
would
killed
go
me. I watched that
very
movie and it killed
far
me.
against, like, all of what I know of your taste.
I know. They butchered that game.
Biggest surprise? Bullet Train. Asan recommended this to me and wouldn't stop recommending it every time we signed on PlayStation. Once my brother said I'd enjoy it, I think I might have watched it the same night or same week. And man, did I miss a theater experience. The trailer did not do this movie justice, as it was the sole reason I didn't want to waste my time on it in the first place. When Hassan kept telling me the movie's funny, I was just like, but the trailer though, like, what? The trailer is supposed to entice you to watch a movie, and they used no jokes. I can't even, like, it feels like it was trying to be funny, but it picked literal non-jokes from the movie. And I had my expectations low, and maybe that's why I thought of it so highly.
That's rare that the movie's better than the trailer. It's usually the other way around.
Yep. Alright, go ahead.
My biggest surprise, there were a couple that I was debating, but I am going to go with RRR. I had no idea that this movie existed, and then Patrick Willems put out a 30-minute video about it. I watched that first, and I was like, all right, this sounds good. Came to Netflix, and I've watched it twice, and it is a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. I have heard that there are some not great political things about it in terms of, like, how it deals with the history of India. I don't really know anything about it, but I've just heard that, so passing that along as a caveat. But damn, is this movie fun. My description of it is, if you're familiar with Community, the TV show, it feels like a sample of what Troy and Abed get up to in the Dreamatorium.
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
that is what this movie feels like to me. It's 3 hours, but I would say it doesn't make, like, the greatest use of all 3 of its hours, but it has enough fun in there that I'm like, it's worth it. I'll sit through the 3 hours to watch the 2 that are good.
The runtime is why I haven't watched it yet. I don't, unless it is like a superhero movie, like the Snyder Cut.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, this is way better than the
Yeah, I
Snyder
know.
Cut.
I know.
Snyder
I
Cut
know.
can eat an ass.
I know. A single one?
Only one, no
single
more.
one.
It doesn't deserve more than one ass eaten? Okay.
Well, I don't want to subject it to more than one, I guess. It's not that bad. But now, Jurassic World Dominion, on the other hand, can eat every ass.
all of the asses.
All of
Got
the
it.
ass.
Jurassic.
It's right in the middle of the name.
Yeah, unless it's a superhero-esque thing, 3 hours for a movie is just... Like, I sat through the Batman. That was 3 hours for a superhero. So, alright.
I think you might enjoy RRR. Probably not as much as me, but I can see you enjoying it. There's some excellent action in it, so it has
you
that much
challenging
going
me?
for it.
It's a
I bet you
challenge.
I can enjoy it more than you.
All right, well then, I don't know if I can say this, but challenge accepted.
I don't want to.
Okay. Then you lose, I guess, and I enjoy it more.
Shit.
All right, 3 categories left. Let's go to most underrated.
Pray.
As in Predator?
As in, yes. On Hulu. Almost no one talked about the Predator no one talked about this movie. I think me and David did.
Hmm.
But like I ain't talked to nobody else besides David and my brother about it. Like ain't nobody really see this movie and I'm like, nah, this movie deserves more attention. It was so good. A less tech savvy predator going against Native Americans. I didn't watch for that part. I was really hoping it didn't fight Native Americans the whole time because I would have felt some kind of way about that. But it also fights and kills French colonizers. And I was just like, this is so great. And the kills are so great. Once the movie gets going, because they have to, set it up and all that, and build up to the predator. Like it goes, like it ramps up in what it thinks the apex predator of the planet is. Like it starts with like a dog or like a lion or something, and then a wolf, and then kills a bear, and then it starts going after humans. And I'm just like, this is so great. And once it claps the bear, it's full steam ahead. Like the kills, they're so creative. And it the weapons it's using are like a primitive version of the predator weapons you used to. It was great. Underrated. Go watch it if you like the I don't even know if it is it thriller. I don't know if Predator's horror.
It's
Action?
a monster movie.
Slasher.
Yeah.
Monster slash. I don't know. It's great.
Yeah, it's easily the best thing in that franchise since the first movie.
Yep, sure is.
My most underrated is The Wonder. This is a Netflix original movie. The thing that I would say to recommend it to most people is good Florence Pugh performance, because I don't expect that the rest of it is going to draw anyone in. I really liked this. I had not heard about it at all. This could have also been biggest surprise, I guess, but I decided to go with most underrated. This just has a lot of like themes that I really vibe with, way more like Inception than I was going into it expecting. And it falls under a category of movies that I really want to see more of, which is like movies that are about religion but are not propaganda for or against religion. I feel like that is I don't know if I want to call it a genre, but like a type of movie that I wish there were more of. I think it's a good thing to examine, and there's just not that much of a market for it.
Don't you dislike when a stance isn't taken on something though?
No, there's definitely a stance taken. It's like, but just like religious movies about religion that are not trying to be propaganda. They're just like examining what growing up, or not necessarily growing up, like existing in a community of faith is like what that does to you, good and bad. There's not enough movies like that because most religious movies we get are like
God's not dead.
yes, or at the very least like in that vein of like this is a Christian movie. I can really only speak to those because I haven't seen any things that would be like for other religions, like the equivalent. I know there's some that exist. David, what's your most underrated?
My most underrated movie of this year, which also could have been the biggest surprise too for me, was Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. I feel like no one I know saw this movie or was talking about this movie, and this movie to me felt like what I wish Pixar would have delivered like for the past like 5 or 6 years. Like the whole story and emotion pushing this story and the kind of quirky weirdness of an inanimate object coming to life and all of that. It felt so in the vein of a Pixar movie, especially it being animated, and it wasn't Pixar, and I was like, this is kind of the best Pixar movie I've seen in a long time, and it's not even Pixar, and I really enjoyed it. And
But Soul.
Yeah, I was gonna say better than Soul.
yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of Soul.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Oh
For
no.
me, my favorite Pixar of the last 6 years would be Coco, like hands down.
I mean, I won't disagree with that, but
Because
I
my
didn't
top
see
three
Soul
Pixar
is-
is really tight, and like I'm surprised Coco even breached it. My 1 and 2 rotate between Monsters Inc. and Finding Nemo, and then 3 is Coco. I liked Soul up until they did the body switch thing, and then I really wasn't a big fan.
Okay.
But Marcel the Shell, I really enjoyed the stop motion, and I was really just impressed after I like saw this whole movie, and I was really moved by it. And I only saw it because of Cher. Cher tweeted about it, and she was like, 100% best movie of the year. And I was like, gotta watch it. Cher said so. And I watched it, and then like afterwards I was like looking into it, and like it started from like a short film this guy had been making like 10, 11 years ago, and I watched the short film, and it was so cool to see how much of like the feature was there in the short and how he developed it from that. And I was like, this is a really impressive feat in independent filmmaking and independent animation, and I wish more people who really love animation could see it. And I wish more people were talking about it, especially for stop motion, because all anybody's talking about is Pinocchio in that regard, which is great because it's a phenomenal movie, and it took like
The Del
1,000
Toro
days.
one,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because there were 3 Pinocchios that came out this past
Yeah, not the
year.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Not the Tom Hanks
Clarify.
Pinocchio, and not the one
Or
where
do you
he's
mean the Pauly Shore one?
yeah, not where he's has to go out on his own. Um, but
And like for some reason everybody has a gun.
I mean, Pinocchio stays strapped. But yeah, that's all.
The trailers have a huge effect on me. I think I'm just now realizing this. The trailer made that Marcel movie just look so mind-numbingly sweet. I was just
It's like aggressive wholesomeness.
it was so aggressive. Like it was trying to shove the wholesomeness through your body straight to your stomach. Like it, I was just like, dude, I can't with whatever they're trying to do, and the music they were playing and the voice choice for the damn shell was just like, no. It's too cute. I don't know who is this for? Kids? Probably. I'm not gonna watch it.
I haven't seen it. I would not call it underrated just because I saw a lot of people talking about it. Maybe that was just like my own internet circles, I guess. But I guess I can't really say more having not seen it.
Where were the explosions in the trailer, David?
There weren't any, but I will say the trailer of like the overdose of sweetness is definitely intentional, because the movie, they give you some of that in the beginning, and then I'd say by the first time, I think Marcel, like they like bleep his first curse, and then like you start to get more of the various sides of Marcel in his life. And oddly enough, I'm not sure if it's for kids. I think like it's for kids of a certain age. I would say like maybe like 12 and up, and then like, but also like I really feel like it's one of those movies where like I was like, wow, is this for adults, or am I just catching the adult themes? But like there's so much about like death in this, and I was like, wow, this is kind of amazing about
Oh, so death's in it. All right, so I'll watch it.
well, if that's all it takes, you should also watch Puss in Boots Last Wish,
Yes.
because death is also in
Another excellent animated movie about death from this year.
And I prefer Death's portrayal in that film to just like the death that occurs in Marcel. But it was a bit more mature than the
Straight
trailer lets
up.
on, I would say. I was surprised by that by Marcel.
Okay.
I'm glad we shouted out Puss in Boots a little bit. That was...
Such a good movie.
I almost put that for biggest surprise. Okay, let's move to most overrated. I will start with this one. Barbarian.
Oh, what an excellent choice. I forgot about that movie. Go ahead, sorry.
That's so crazy to me. You're the only 2 people I know who don't like it.
This almost went under worst. I have... well, okay, I can name... there's one other person I know that doesn't like it. Is the person I watched it with, the friend I watched it with. We were, like, not sure what to watch, and I was like, oh, I've heard good things about this from a few people I trust.
That almost got my
The
best
first
scene.
25 minutes are good, and then they start making dumb decisions, and I was like, no, I'm out. Like, it had me too. It was smart for the first like 25 minutes. I was like, okay, these characters are making decisions that, like, if I was in a horror movie, like if I knew I was in a horror movie, I wouldn't do this. But in real life, maybe I would. And then it turns
As
into
soon as she goes back to help him
Yep.
is when the movie starts going downhill.
When she goes down the hallway and keeps going, he's like, oh no, oh no. I'm like, get out of there. Like, just, you can leave. There's no reason. It was, and then the rest of it, like, I wasn't, like, paying super close attention.
You don't need to.
No, because at that point it was like, okay, you lost me. When your characters start making stupid decisions, like, why am I supposed to be invested in the rest of this? And everyone seems to love this movie. And I don't get it.
It's so good.
I've heard about the videos and what the director was trying to say, and if I have to do extra credit homework to understand your fucking movie, you didn't do a good job. I'm sorry.
I agree. And like, I'm someone who likes rewatching and seeing all the hidden meaning, but you gotta actually deliver something first time. So like, I believe that maybe there's some stuff there, but like, you promised me intelligence in the first 25 minutes and then you threw it out the freaking window.
Yep.
I don't get why this is getting so praised.
Did you watch any of the... I still haven't, so maybe that's why I still dislike it. But did you watch any of the extra credit stuff?
No. Nope.
I don't even know what to call it. It's like videos and articles on...
all the critique. No.
Yeah.
All the things you missed, watched it at 0.25 speed. No.
Yep.
I don't care.
I just think it's so entertaining. Like, it almost got one of my best, like, the best scene. Like, it was between that movie and Pearl. Love it.
What?
Yeah, I love the tape measuring scene with Justin Long. That scene is so well done. Oh my god. The way it's shot, the way it's lit, how long it takes. Oh my god. And then the reveal at the end. And just seeing how he goes through that house compared to her and just his mindless abandon. I loved it all. My most overrated's Elvis. I hate that piece of shit movie. I hate Baz Luhrmann as a filmmaker. I hate every acting, every shot, every editing, every color correcting, every line delivered. I hate that fucking shit movie.
Damn, y'all made some great choices. I couldn't pick Elvis as most overrated because I didn't see it, and I'm not gonna see it because I refuse to support Elvis or anything Elvis. So
I don't agree with you on the like screw everything Baz Luhrmann has touched, but yeah, that movie was so mid. Jelani, what's your most overrated?
well, you guys made such good decisions that I didn't even think of. Well, I couldn't pick Elvis, and Barbarian's a good choice. You guys are gonna hate me because my most overrated is Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
I knew it was gonna be that.
Yeah.
I am not surprised.
Yup,
And I know it's partially my fault that you picked
hate
that.
the love surrounding this goddamn movie. I've spoken about this movie a lot, either on record or off record. People wouldn't stop talking about it. It gained traction. Great. When I finally see it, I didn't get the big fucking deal. People were crying in the theater. Like, what?
I cried
They were
both
rocks.
times in the theater.
They were rocks and people were laughing and crying, and I was just like, do you people understand what the fuck is going on?
You're just not on the wavelength, man.
No, there is no goddamn wavelength. It's
There
a myth.
is, and you're
It's
just
a
not
myth.
on it. It's okay that you're not on it, but
I think Evan said he knew somebody that had an existential crisis watching this shit. It ain't that deep, though it tries to be. And I don't get it. But that's okay.
it is that deep. And I'm not trying to invalidate your reaction, but other people are right.
This
Which
movie
is to say
is
that
so...
David and I are right.
I was
Like,
actually talking to my mom about my choices about this episode, and she said she couldn't even get through it.
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't
man.
even think I
Like-
fucking laughed at this movie.
I laughed. I cried. I did everything Nicole Kidman tells me I'm gonna do before my movie starts.
In the movie theater.
But she wants you to do it for Jurassic World and La La Land.
Why do they keep showing that ad? We are already at the movies,
I know.
motherfuckers. Why? Anyway, I don't... The performance is fine, I guess. I did watch that Stephanie's audition. I was just like, okay, cool. No. Most overrated anything everywhere at all times. I cannot. And when people talk about the movie, I don't think I have selective hearing, but when people talk about this movie, I think I black out.
You're like, God
Well,
bless
buckle
zoning
up.
out.
Yeah, like I
Because, I mean,
Get ready to zone out.
I get ready to zone out.
fucking both of you.
I mean, we're not on that category yet, but I don't think anyone's going to be surprised when they hear my answer.
Christ almighty.
Let's move to favorites.
Let's not.
Yeah, Jelani, you'll black out for a little bit. It's everything everywhere for me. I mean, this is like in my top 5, probably, if not, it's easily top 10. It might be top 5. I fucking love it. It could have won many categories here, but I wanted to share some love with some other stuff, and I think they deserved it. I don't want to like say that I held it back because there was other really good stuff that came out this year, but like, how could this not win? This is everything that I didn't know I wanted from a movie.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, Jelani. I'm
No,
not
keep going,
going to
keep going.
apologize. No, we did a whole episode. I love it. Like I deserves every award. I don't know what I actually expect it to win tomorrow, but whatever it wins, it deserves. I'll stand by that statement. This is the best movie of the decade so far for me. David, is it also yours?
Well, yes, it is. So, so I was
knew it.
between this and X. I loved X as a horror fan. I was like shocked by X. I thought X was something that I never thought could be made. And then Everything Everywhere All at Once as a movie fan did that. I never thought a movie could be made this way. I never thought, especially from the Daniels, like if you told me like before Everything Everywhere All at Once, like, do you want to see the Swiss Army guys peoples, they doing another
And
movie,
the turn down for what, guys?
right? I'd be like, no. I'm really okay, I don't need it. But now, like, they're on my radar like indefinitely. That movie had me feel all the emotions. From the trailer I could tell it was going to be something special. I remember sending it to my friends and I was like, you need to watch this and we need to see it together when it comes out, and we did, and it was so good. I thought it was just the funniest movie I had seen this year, but also the most emotional movie I'd seen this year, and those are my favorite comedies. And I feel like in the late 2000s to like the early 2010s, a lot of the comedies that we were getting that I really enjoyed at least weren't that emotionally heavy. And you know, that might be like the Seth Rogen effect and all of that and his friend group, but this was really nice to see a comedy that also had weight to it, and the performances, the editing, all the craft side to this, the filmmaking, it's just so well done.
Everything Everywhere All at Once put my brother through college. Had me
Paid my mortgage.
meet my sweetheart, and we've now been married for 10 years, and paid off all of my debt.
Do you guys do laundry and taxes together?
Yeah, well, it does it for me. The
Yeah.
movie does it for me. Yeah.
Nice. Progressive pronouns.
It's the greatest thing ever to mankind. I don't know how we can get
Past this.
this is peak. We did
I
it.
mean, you're kidding, but I'm not.
We did it as a species. This is the peak of humanity. And we need to use this movie. We need to show this movie in schools, and we'll eventually come together. Racism will have ended. Debt will cease to exist, and every country will be a first world country. I'm sorry.
I was with you up to a point, actually.
The fact that you were is also a problem. But let's move on to my favorite movie of the year. Good old Bullet Train. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. It's gonna have its own episode, but the unexpected deaths, the action, the ensemble, the actors, the cameos, everything about this movie was off the rails.
Oh
And
my
beautifully
God.
done. Beautifully done. I want to see more from David. Is it Leitch? Leitch, the director. Leitch.
Maybe, I don't know.
He also directed Deadpool 2 and the first John Wick, though on IMDb it says he's uncredited. Yeah, just everything was great about this movie. The comedy was great. The action was great. The actors, everything I said. Also, didn't know Aaron Taylor Johnson was Tangerine. I didn't recognize him. I don't know how every time I see him in another role, I never recognize him. Aaron Taylor Johnson, otherwise known as Kick-Ass and Quicksilver in the MCU. He's in this movie. Also, it has Brian Tyree Henry, and you can't go wrong with that. And a couple of other surprise actors in this that are some of my favorites as well. So, yeah, this movie was destined to be my favorite of the year. I didn't have an existential crisis, so I don't even know if it was that good, you know? It didn't make me cry, but it did make me laugh, but it didn't do everything that Everything Everywhere All at Once did and all the things I listed earlier, so yeah, I don't even know if it's that good. Two other movies that I didn't put on my list, but I saw. Everything else I mentioned I saw, but Thor Love and Thunder, didn't want to put that anywhere. It wasn't downright the worst movie I saw, but definitely wasn't the best. And then Glass Onion, shout out to Bullet Train. I want to watch it again. Well, I'm going to watch it. We're going to all watch it. I mean, David already saw it recently, but yeah, great movie.
Okay, I mean, I haven't seen it, so I can't argue with you. And I wouldn't anyway.
I'll argue with y'all all day on Everything Everywhere, all the time, almost.
Well, you're not going to convince me.
No, but it's fun to argue because you fail to see how delusional you are.
But
I think
when you
you're
put
just keeping
everything
your
on
eyes
a
closed, my
bagel,
friend.
No,
that's what happened.
no,
Well, have you ever put everything on a bagel?
no.
Well, you wouldn't know.
No.
Just saying it checks out.
I'm glad we saved favorite for last.
What were you saying, Evan? Sorry. Shout
Oh
out to
yeah,
you.
I just wanted to shout out Nope and Banshees of Inisherin because those were two movies I really liked from this year that just didn't happen to get any awards. And Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. All three of those were really good, and they just didn't win any categories on here. But especially Nope, because that was my number 3.
Shout outs to Puss.
Let's be doing the thing.
Our favorite fearless hero.
Oh my god, I almost put that for best music. You don't even know, because I'd be singing that in the shower. Who's your favorite fearless hero? I got favorite fearless hero.
It's so good.
It's so good.
What the fuck?
You gotta watch it.
You
You
gotta
have
see it,
no
man.
idea. You have to watch this movie, Jelani. It's so good.
Fear Me If You Dare. Yeah, 2022 was a good movie year, though, I think. It was a pleasant surprise on the whole, with some disappointments, but mostly pleasant surprises in terms of movies this year. And I'm stoked for 2023 because there's some stuff I'm excited for this year.
I'm excited for the Ninja Turtles movie.
Okay, that wasn't one of them.
It's looking good. They're actually teenagers. The animation's very Spider-Verse-y, but like a little bit grungier, which kind of vibes because, you know, turtles in the sewer.
What? I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, let me get the trailer.
While you guys are doing that, I'm going to run through a quick boilerplate. So, like we said, we'll be doing an episode on Bullet Train. Our next episode, though, will be 8th grade, and then Bullet Train will be after that. Also, by the time this comes out, there should be a new video on our YouTube channel about the John Wick trilogy. And we also should have a Patreon podcast about it as well, all 3 movies. Aside from that, if you want to send in your picks, like we said at the top, leave comments on the YouTube video for this. And if that's all, we will see you guys next time with 8th grade.